Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our HSC tutorial, and today's topic is office safety. I'm your host Javed, and you are watching Safety First. If you are new on this channel, kindly subscribe the channel, like and share the videos. Let us look what is office safety. Friends and fellows, offices of today are very different from the way they were 20 years ago. Many hazards exist within an office environment that can cause injuries and health problems. Slippery floors, open file drawers, poor lighting, and machines that can emit noxious hazardous gases are just some of the hazards that can be encountered. Appropriate steps need to be taken to control and eliminate hazards and safety issues within the offices. Let us find what are the hazards in the offices. Chemicals, office machinery, office ergonomics, stacking and storage of material, electrical safety, office lighting, manual handling, quality of air, housekeeping, physical injuries, workplace violence, signs of crisis, and the signs of escalating behavior. Most common office hazards might be ladders, stands, stools, office tools, copying machines, and video display terminals. The causes those lead to office accidents are falls, strains and overexertion, struck by or striking objects, caught in or between objects, foreign substances in eyes, burns from hot liquids and fires, electrical shock, ventilation, illumination, noise, physical layout, housekeeping, exit, egress, office furniture, office machinery, and handling of material that might be anything, furniture or electronic devices. Dear friends and fellows, many operations involve a certain element of risk. Safety signs and tags have been developed as one means of preventing workplace accidents and injuries. They warn about hazards so you can take appropriate precaution using distinguishable sign color, symbols, and labels to identify levels of hazards and risks, using danger, caution, safety instruction, and other signs and tags. What do you understand by danger? Indicates immediate danger and that special precautions are required. Similarly, there are some signs of caution, indicates possible hazards against which proper precautions should be taken. There are few safety instructions in the offices and the workplaces. Those provide general instruction and suggestions relative to safety measures like eye wash, emergency eye wash fountain, keep area clear, be careful, watch your step, first aid post, safety, low clearance, emergency assembly point, safety first, save your eyes, wear eye protection. There are many more, but these are the few examples of safety signs and tags. Those must be complied, those must be followed in all times to avoid any emergency situation, potential incident or accident or near miss. Physical layout of the office is a hazard. Poor design layout can lead to crowding, lack of privacy, slips, trips, and falls. At least 3 feet distance between desks, 50 square feet per employee. Keep telephone and electrical cords, wires out of passage and walkways. Keep office machines away from edges of desks and tables. Regularly inspect, repair and replace damaged carpets. Place floor mats inside building entrances. These are the requirements that need to be fulfilled in the office area. Let us look what is required for exits and egress. All exits should be at least 28 inches wide. Generally, two exits should be provided. Exits and access must be marked as such. Means of egress should be free of obstructions and adequately lit, including stairways used for emergency exit. All employees should be aware of exit locations and trained in proper evacuation procedure. In the office, there is one hazard of fire. Store unused records and papers in fire-resistive files or vaults. Use flame-resistive material. Smoke only in designated areas and use proper ashtrays. Fire extinguishers and fire alarms pull stations should be clearly marked and unobstructed. Flammable liquids should be kept to a minimum and stored in a metal cabinet. Fire doors should be kept closed at all times. Don't hang anything from or on sprinklers, smoke detectors, or heat detectors. Keep storage at least 18 inches from sprinkler heads. Report electrical hazards immediately, sparking outlets or damaged plugs, etc. One of the most common hazards in the offices is handling of material and storage of material. Improper lifting is equal to musculoskeletal disorders such as sprains, strains, and inflamed joints. Improperly stored objects can fall on people, cause poor visibility and fires. Materials should not be stored on top of cabinets. Heavy objects should be stored on lower shelves stacked neatly. Store materials inside cabinets and lockers or files when possible. Don't block or obstruct fully stored flammable and combustible material. Don't block or obstruct walkways or passages. Ensure shelves are secured to the wall to prevent tipping. Don't step on shelves or stand on chairs to reach items. Let us look. Smoking is permitted in the office or prohibited. What are the dangers? Those are related to smoking. Smoking contaminates the air, and in recognition that tobacco smoke may create adverse health effects to non-smokers, smoking is strictly prohibited within the office, and all smokers are to utilize a pre-assigned smoking area while doing so. In the offices, mostly, there are several chemicals those are used. Let us find what are the common chemicals in the offices: cleaning agents, toners and developers, inks, cleansers, and solvents. Housekeeping causes many accidents in the construction site as well as in the offices. Let us look what is housekeeping. Cleanliness, tidiness, maintenance, and taking care of your work area. Good housekeeping calls for constant care. Benefits of good housekeeping: it keeps the site safer, easier, better, with more fun. Advantages of good housekeeping are less tiring, more space, less aggravating, and more business-like. Housekeeping is part of everyone's job. Ventilation is another problem in the offices. Source of office air pollution that can cause health problems include natural agents, carbon monoxide, microorganisms, etc. Synthetic chemicals, cleaning fluids, cigarette smoke, and asbestos. Adequate office ventilation system delivering quality indoor air and providing comfortable humidity and temperature is a necessity. If copying or printing machine used equals to exhaust ventilation system that draws particulates and gases away from breathing zones should be present. Office machines and ventilation systems components should be checked and maintained on a regular basis. Ladies and gentlemen, let us look safe ventilation method. Why is this fan being used? Ventilation provided not adequate or not working. Could somebody get injured from this? Let us find what is the role of illumination within the office. Poor lighting can cause glare, shadows, visual problems, for example, eye strain, fatigue, or double vision, and it can cause accidents and injuries. Controls to prevent poor lighting conditions, regular maintenance of the lighting system, light colored, dull finish on walls, ceilings, floors to reduce glare, adjustable shades on windows, and indirect lighting. Noise is another problem in the office. It is an environmental impact. Noise can affect productivity, it can cause hearing loss, and it is a risk for the health and safety of the workers, those are working in the offices. Let us look how the noise affect productivity. Inefficient lost communication, work stoppage for communication, incomplete instructions or knowledge. How the noise can cause hearing loss, wasted investment in ineffective solutions, increase in workers' complaint, claims, potential lawsuits, and insurance premiums. How the noise may lead to a greater risk of accidents and fatalities due to reduced situational awareness and reduction of productivity. These are the costs, these are the output, or these are the outcomes of noisy workplace. What is noise? Noise is any sound that is loud, unpleasant, unexpected, or undesired. Acceptable level will vary with the individuals in the office. While it is unlikely that noise levels in offices will reach damaging levels, noise can create physical or psychological stress, reduce productivity as discussed, and interfere with communication and concentration. Noise can produce tension and stress. Let us look what are the sources of noise within the office. Video display terminals, high-speed printers, fax machines, copying machines, telephones, human voices, housekeeping and maintenance work, ventilation and heating systems, high foot traffic, and the use of multimedia or radios. How the noise can be controlled. Place noisy machines in an enclosed space or as far away from workstations as possible. Use carpeting and acoustical ceiling tiles. Adjust telephone volumes to lowest level. Rearrange traffic routes within the office equals to reduce traffic within or between work areas. Schedule housekeeping and maintenance services after working hours. Choosing the quietest equipment and keep it quiet by maintaining the equipment. If radios are allowed, keeping volume low and rearrange work areas to isolate foot traffic. Let us look what is office ergonomics. Ergo equals to work. Nomics equals to rules or the laws or the ways. And if we combine the word ergonomics literally means the laws of work. In a simpler way, ergonomics means fit the task to the person, make things user friendly, work smarter, not harder. Click on the link that is appearing on your screen and watch what is ergonomics. This is a detailed, comprehensive video. OSHA defines ergonomics as the science of designing the job to fit the worker instead of forcing the worker to fit the job. Let us look at the funny example of ergonomics to make you understand. Daddy, what is ergonomy? Father, it's making children tall enough not to have dad bend so much. Ideally, good ergonomic condition means make the job safer by preventing injury and illness. Make the job easier by adjusting the job to the worker. Make the job more pleasant by reducing physical and mental stress. And lastly, if you will do all three, the above mentioned, you will save money and you will increase the protection as well. If you are doing a task with your hands over and over, try not to bend, extend or twist hands for long periods. Don't work with your arms too close or too far from your body. Don't rest your wrists on hard surfaces for long periods. Switch hands during work tasks if possible. Take regular breaks from repeated hand movements. Give your hands and wrists time to rest. Don't sit or stand in the same position all day, and ensure your chair is adjusted so your forearms are level with your keyboard and you don't flex your wrist to type. In the matter of computer, if we'll discuss about screen, the top should be at or just below eye level and approximately 18 to 22 inches away from the user. If we will discuss about the chair of the user, your back should be fully supported with feet flat on the floor or on a footrest. Knees should be approximately 90 degrees to floor when seated. If we will discuss about the keyboard at a height, so wrists are straight and elbows at approximately 90 degrees. If we will discuss about document holder placed at same height and distance as screen. If we will consider the eye comfort, then reduce glare on screen by controlling light from uncovered windows. Set screen at right angle to window if possible. If we discuss about the changing positions, frequently change positions to release tension. If you are working in an office and you are using computer, it is mandatory to frequently change positions to release tension on your body. Organize work area by keeping frequently used items such as a telephone within easy reach. Take mini breaks throughout the day to relieve muscle tension and re-energize the body. Let us look what are the preventive or prevention strategies. Pay attention to the signals your body provides you. If your neck hurts at work, examine your body position to try to figure out what might be causing the soreness. Are you holding your neck at an awkward angle while you type or talk on the phone? Dear friends, fellows, and colleagues, always remember 20-20-20 rule. Blink and refocus your eyes regularly. Keep monitor screen clean and regular vision care. Do you know what is 20-20-20 rule? 20-20-20 rules mean every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break and focus your eyes on something at least 20 feet away. This is compulsory or mandatory or a principle or a safety factor once the person is using computer for long time. If you are experiencing symptoms of CTDs, tingling or numbness in the hands or fingers, pain in fingers, hands, wrists, or even shooting up into the arms or forearms, loss of strength or coordination in the hands, numbness or discomfort in the hands that wakes you up at night, please be attentive and see a doctor. Get professional medical advice. What is the best strategy? The key to preventing overuse injuries is to break repetitive work with non-repetitive tasks or exercise and or rest breaks. Employees need to move around and reduce the effects of fatigue by doing different tasks. However, rest breaks should be taken if the job requires a sustained period of repetitive or static activity. Let us look what are the causes of back problems. Heavy lifting from above the shoulders, heavy lifting from below the knees, twisting while lifting or carrying, bending over at the waist, and carrying objects to one side. Lifting improperly can result in muscle strain. ligament sprains, vertebral disc, and abdominal hernias. If you want to avoid back problems, then plan your lifting ahead. Clear pathway to ensure safe path. Is the load too heavy to carry by yourself? Get help. Hold load close to body, close to center of mass, and use fit to change direction. Don't twist your body in any case. Grasp the object, slowly rise, and let your thigh muscle do the lifting. Let us look at the electrical dangers in the office area. Equipment must be properly grounded to prevent shock injuries. Ensure there are a sufficient number of outlets to prevent circuit overloading. Don't use poorly maintained or non-approved equipment. Don't drag cords over nails, hooks, or other sharp objects. Check equipment and receptacles to ensure there are no bare frayed wire hazards. Chairs should be properly designed and regularly inspected for missing casters, wobbly or cracked legs or loose parts. Don't lean back on the chair with your feet on a desk. Don't use a chair to move yourself from one area to another. Don't stand on chairs to reach for something. Open only one drawer at a time and only use the handles to close drawers. Don't locate file cabinets close to doorways. If we will discuss about the machinery, we must know that the machines with nip points or rotating parts should be guarded to avoid accidental contact. Machines such as hole punches, paper cutters, and conveyors should be guarded. Fans must be substantial bases and blades must have guards that are no wider than half inch. Let us find how the ladders, stands, and stools may lead to an accident or injury. Always face the ladder when going up or down. Inspect ladders regularly to ensure they are in good condition. Never stand or sit on the top step of a ladder. Ladders should only be used when they are fully open and the spreaders are locked. Ensure the ladder or stool used is tall enough to be used safely. And before using, ensure ladders or stools or stands are on solid surfaces that are not slippery. If you want to know in detail about the use of ladders, please click on the link that is appearing on your screen to know what is the safety of ladders and what are the risks involved while you are using a ladder in your workplace or in the office. Let us discuss about tools. Office tools such as pens, pencils, papers, ladder openers, scissors, and staplers can cause cuts, scrapes, punctures with resulting infections. Paper cutter blades should be closed when not in use and a guard should be in place. Always use staple removers and never touch a jam stapler with your thumb. Store sharp objects in a drawer or with the point down, and never hand a sharp object to someone point first. Let us look how to use a photocopying machine in the office area. Photocopying machine may use toxic chemicals, produce excessive noise, intense light, as well as being a source of indoor air pollution. Keep the document cover closed. Reduce noise exposure by isolating the machine. Place machines in well-ventilated rooms away from the workers' desks. Have machines serviced regularly to prevent chemical emissions. Avoid skin contact with chemicals and clean up all spills and dispose of waste properly. Let us look how to use video display terminals. Health hazards equals to radiation, noise, eye irritation, low back, neck, shoulder pain, or stress. To minimize potential radiation exposure, only use equipment for which you can obtain data on emissions. To minimize noise, visual display terminals should not be clustered. Sound absorbent screens may also be used. Ensure VDT is not too close to operator, not less than 18 to 22 inches away. Falling hazard is common in the office. Wear appropriate footwear equals to study shoes with non-slip soles. Few examples, and you have to find out which one is more safer and which one is not. How to prevent fall. Maintain a clear line of vision. Install convex mirrors around blind corners or cubicle walls to avoid collisions. Don't run electrical cords, telephone, or computer wiring across walkways. Don't stand on chairs or other furniture to reach for something. Don't store boxes, files, or various other items in walkways. Use handrails when walking up or downstairs. Close all file dryers immediately after use. Close the file dryer using the dryer handle, not your feet. Open only one file dryer at a time to avoid causing cabinet to fall over. Never leave an open dryer unattended. Never open a dryer while someone is beneath it. Never climb on open file dryers to avoid slips, trips, and falls. Watch where you walk. Be alert for worn or loose carpets, broken stair tread edges, uneven or broken walking surfaces, chipped floorboards and tiles. Pick up objects that fall, pencils, etc. Use caution when wearing high heels. General housekeeping. Cupboards, cabinets and carpets, cords, cables and wires, telephone outlets, personal belongings and furniture. What are the safety precautions? Those are required to use stairs. Avoid distraction on stairs. Take one step at a time. Don't lower stair wells for storage. Use the elevator when transporting heavy loads. Once you are working in the office, please make short exercises to keep your back relaxed. Bend down between your knees for as long as you can. Return to upright position. Straighten and relax. Raise your right arm and grasp it below the elbow with your left hand. Gently pull your right elbow towards your left shoulder as you feel the stretch. Hold for 5 seconds and do same for left side. Fingers also need exercise. With palms down, spread your fingers apart as far as you can. Hold for the count of 5. Relax and then repeat. This is finger stretching. It is required to keep your fingers workable and to avoid fatigue and pain. What about shoulder? Slowly roll your shoulders forward 5 times in a circular motion using your full range of motion. Then roll your shoulders backward 5 times with the same circular motion. We discuss many things, but office security is still remaining. Lock up and safeguard. Secure your office. Don't prop doors open. Secure your data. Don't tempt others. Look after visitors and subcontractors while they are coming in the offices and once they are leaving from the offices. Let us look what is emergency preparedness. Become familiar with evacuation routes. Know where the evacuation assembly areas are for your buildings. Look around and note locations of exits, not elevators, fire extinguishers, fire alarm pull stations, first aid kits, emergency shower and eye washes. Memorize emergency phone numbers, evacuation signal, location of emergency exits, evacuation routes, emergency exits and access to exits, emergency duties, designated meeting areas, drills, activate the fire alarm, call the fire department, and use an extinguisher on small fires. This is the responsibility of every office individual that he should be aware of the emergency evacuation procedure of the office area, and he should be aware of the emergency exit plan as well. There might be a medical emergency. Call for an ambulance if necessary. Apply first aid. Use gloves to protect against bloodborne pathogens. Know the location of first aid kits. And if you are qualified, start first aid and CPR. If you want to know about the first aid procedure or the CPR, click, click on the link that is appearing on your screen and follow. First aid procedure, basic and advanced. What to do in case of natural disaster. Be prepared. Have a survival kit in your office. Listen for warnings and instructions that might be different. And you should be aware and you should be able to make a difference which kind of warning is for which kind of emergency. Where are the shelters and how to evacuate. This is again the responsibility of the individuals. Those are working in the office. They must be aware of how to report emergencies. Know the location of the closest exit, fire alarm pull station, and the fire extinguisher. Be familiar with emergency escape procedures and routes. Know where to assemble after evacuation. Know the procedure used to account for all employees after evacuation. Know which employees are assigned rescue and medical duties. Know where emergency equipment is stored. For example, flashlights and medical supplies are first aid boxes. This is the duty of the employer to ensure the compliance. This is his responsibility and authority to enforce safety measures as the law demands by the employer. All employers, whatever the size of the business, must make the workplace safe, prevent risks to health, ensure that plant and machinery is safe to use, ensure safe working practices are set up and followed, make sure that all materials are handled, stored, and used safely, provide adequate first aid facilities, and the workforce must be trained and competent to perform their different tasks and duties. How to bound the employees? A worker must take reasonable care for their own health and safety. Take reasonable care for the health and safety of others who may be affected by their acts or omissions. Cooperate with anything the employer does to comply with OHS requirements. Not intentionally or recklessly interfere with or misuse anything provided at the workplace for occupational health and safety. These are not the instructions. This is the responsibility and the duty of the employees that is also demanded by the OHS rules, regulations, and laws. Dear fellows, let us summarize what is the bottom line of office safety. There are many hazards associated with working in an office environment. Be aware of safety issues and hazards, report them and correct them. Real in the case of any injury, near miss, incident, or accident, report it, take the corrective measures to avoid situation being going from bad to worse. Realize an improper or careless act such as leaving a file drawer open can cause injuries. Think safety and act safely. Keep alert and take precautions. Know how to respond to emergencies. Reduce exposure to ergonomic risk factors. Always lift safely. Manage stress effectively. Remember, safety is a right, not a privilege. There is big difference between a privilege and a right. Training session is over now. If you have any question, please ask in the comment section. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like and share. Hope to see you soon with a new HSC tutorial. Till then, take care. Good luck and Allah Hafiz.